Good morning. Welcome to our end of the year safety presentation. I appreciate all of you taking time out of your day to join us. Come see what we learned and really come check in on your investment, because that's what we are as a group and this program is an investment in your future and your company. My name is Brent Brown. I'm with GE Appliances, and my personal safety commitment is to always wear the proper cut-level gloves for all the different areas that I cover in my building.
My name is Joe Fisher, work with General Electric Appliances. My personal safety commitment is I will always wear my safety glasses while at work.
My name is Noah Mounts with EOS. My personal safety commitment is to always wear my hearing protection when working with loud.
My name is Ryan Steele. I work for GE Appliances, and my personal safety commitment is to always maintain 3 points of contact when entering or exiting a powered industrial vehicle.
My name is John Marcus Ravel. I'm currently looking for a sponsor. My personal safety commitment is to always point out trip and fall hazards when I'm at work.
My name is Nathan Kissel. I'm with Jones Plastics. And my personal safety commitment is to always wear my welding gloves when welding.
My name is Charles Tompkins. My sponsor is Very Global, and my personal safety commitment is to be more mindful of what I lean my body against while working on the floor.
My name is Preston Chisholm. My personal safety commitment is to always ensure a machine is locked out and tagged out before I begin my work, and my sponsor is Paradise Tomato.
My name is Adam Bostic. I work for GE Appliances. My personal safety commitment is to slow down and make a plan so I can do my work safely.
My name is Cole Deckard. I work for GE Appliances, and my personal safety commitment is to always use proper lifting techniques when lifting the vehicle.
My name is Jimmy Camp. I don't have a sponsor. My personal safety commitment is to test and drive to prevent accidents from home and work.
So what is lockout tagout? Lockout tagout is just a safety procedure to ensure all affected machinery is de-energized and it can't be re-energized until the work is completed. It consists of 3 separate parts. Your lockout is your physical lock, just to make sure all affected employees can't re-energize the equipment until the work is complete. Your tagout is an easy to see tag with a warning label, the worker's name and the date on it, and your transition locks are typically used if the work isn't completed by the end of your shift. Just always make sure to communicate with your coworkers during shift change to ensure that your transition locks are, if they're needed, to put on, and the safety is our #1 priority, so it's just the safety.
So why does lockout tagout matter? OSHA found that 120 deaths were recorded and 50,000 injuries were also reported because of lack of lockout tagout training. That's 120 lives that could have been saved if people were trained on how to use their locks and tags. Locking out your machine and making sure it's all tagged out will prevent damage to the machine. It will also prevent other coworkers from getting injured, and any OSHA fines or violations being reported for your resume. A big step about actually locking out and tagging down a machine is knowing what energies to actually lock out. Energies like electrical energy like power lines, motors, mechanical energy like springs, any kinetic energy that could be powered up, hydraulic and pneumatic, high pressure liquid valves, gauges, thermal, high or low pressures, anything with heat in it, any temperatures that could be result in injury, and then chemical, any hazardous substance that could be harmful in any way possible.
So these are the steps to lock out, tag out. You gotta let production know you're preparing for a shutdown, and notify employees. Notify all employees, hey, I'm going to be working on this machine. Just let them know. Make sure they don't turn it on. Make sure they don't mess with it. Shut down the equipment. Lock out the equipment. Isolate the energy. Press the start. Make sure it doesn't start. And apply lock and tag. Lock it out. Release the stored energy. That's press the start. And verify 0 stored energy. Once again, press the start. Make sure the machine does not start.
Authorized versus effective employees. Authorized employee is somebody who's been trained on lockout tagout procedure. They're the only person, if they put the lock on, they take the lock off. They know what they're doing. They're a maintenance person, and the affected employee is, say, the employee who's on the production line using the machine to do their job. The biggest and most important factor is communicating. That authorized employee needs to tell the infected employee that the machine is going down. Communication is the key to safety.
Removing locks and returning to service. After maintenance work has been completed, restoring energy to the machine and returning the machine to service are essential in making sure that production can resume. This includes clearing the area, both of putting on the tools and materials as well as the personnel, notifying the affected employees that work has been completed and that the machine is about to be returned to service, removing lockout tagout locks. This can include just like an individual lock, or in the event of a lockout tagout, it can also include a device such as the HASP, which may include multiple locks. Restoring energy to the service, to the machine, as well as notifying for return to service are all essential steps in returning production to service.
In group lockout and tagout situations, your safety risks increase exponentially because not only do you have to worry about yourself, but you have to worry about somebody else. In this video, you'll see JW and Jimmy locking out one of our units out here in the lab. You'll see he's using a HASP that has multiple lockout positions for one lockout station. He puts his lock on that has the tag on that indicates that's his lock. And then you'll see Jimmy walk up and he'll apply his lock with his own tag that indicates that that's his lock. When they're done working on the station, they'll remove their individual locks and re-energize the station. Those tags indicate which locks are theirs.
When it comes to lockout tagout mistakes, there's a few things we want to keep in mind. We must always be sure to follow the procedures set up by OSHA and to adequately train all team members on these procedures. When it's time to lock out a machine, do we know where to lock it out at? Do we know how to dissipate all the energy? We must verify zero energy before progressing further. Are we adequately communicating between affected and non-affected employees? When communication breaks, safety breaks. Finally, we must remember that only the person who placed the lock can remove the lock, period. These locks are our coworkers' lifelines.
All right, our key takeaways from our presentation this morning: always follow the 7 steps of lockout tagout. Always, always, always. Lockout tagout should be the first thing we think of and the first thing we do before we start working on any piece of equipment. Your safety and your coworkers' safety depend on it. Communicate with those people that are working around that machine. This is what we're going to be doing. This is approximately how long it's going to take. I will let you know when the machine is ready to go back into service. Always verify that you have eliminated every source of power and energy from that machine before you step into a danger zone. Thank you both our instructors, Mr. J, all our sponsors, for your continued support throughout our training. We appreciate it, and we look forward to being good employees for you. Do we have any questions?
Comments? Thought it was very good. Definitely tell you guys were very well rehearsed. Yeah, I was really impressed by it. Zach, or
yeah, a lot less reading from zones and cards than last time. It looks like you guys knew the information that you put on the slides.
all right. Well,
Outstanding. I really liked the introduction and the closing, recognizing your audience. Especially when you're presenting to adults, you want to remember that those people have an understanding of at some level or other. So you want to recognize, and this is a little different, but you do want to understand when you're talking to adults, it's different than when you're talking to kids. And when you do your introductions, recognition of that does matter to some people. So, that was an excellent introduction and closing. For your slide deck, I would definitely simplify your slides. Like can you go back to the flow chart that you had on re-energizing? Okay, that was a perfect example. That first block could have just had clear the area, ensure all personnel are clear, notify affected employees. Okay, because you're going to tell us what all that means. You don't want me sitting here reading your slide to make sure that what you're saying is what's on your slide. Okay, you want me listening to you, right? And I'm just, you were the one talking about it, but this applies to all of you, right? You guys did a fantastic job of using your slides to prompt your speech. That's what they're for. That's the main reason to have a slide deck. Instead of holding cards in your hand, you put your prompts on the screen and then you just refer to them. When you get, oh, where am I? You pop you did that. You got a little bit lost in what you were saying. It's okay. Took a beat, looked at the screen, found your place, and on you go. So for future, I would simplify these. You got a lot of words, okay? And you don't want people reading the slides. The other thing having to do with slides is it was obvious that some of you did some of the slides and some of you did. I think everybody kind of got assigned a slide or something. You want one person to go through and make sure that the slides are consistent. You want consistent language, consistent look, because it unifies your presentation. It doesn't make it look patchwork, okay? The only information point that I think you could have done better with is why would you use multiple locks? Everything else you were dead on. You had everything I wanted to hear in a lockout, tagout presentation. Except you talked about how to put multiple locks on and that you put multiple locks on, but you didn't talk about why you put multiple locks on. And I think that causes a lot of those errors that you talked about in lockout, tagout procedure. So that one little point, and it's little, okay? I know I'm picking. I want you to understand this. I know I'm picking because y'all didn't give me a lot of fruit to pick. You did an excellent job. This is your next level stuff. Okay, this is to get you to the next level. And I didn't know this until yesterday that this is your first presentation. And for many of you, this is the first presentation you've ever done. Fantastic work. Fantastic work. I'm not seeing dip in anybody's mouth today. I'm not seeing hats being worn. Everybody's dressed appropriately. Y'all went through the extra effort. And I know about this for those that didn't get the fame shirts to go out and get matching red shirts. I appreciate that. So y'all did well. This is just next level stuff. Okay? Next level stuff. It was an excellent presentation, though. Very good.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I thought that your information and your knowledge of the material that you were going over was really good. It was spot on, like Walt was saying about lockout, tagout. I agree with him that the slides were very busy. It's a lot of material, probably too much. So it doesn't need to be. So the slides don't have to tell the entire story. I'm going to put everything I know on the slide. No, that's not true. I just want to put, like Walt was saying, one sentence, one brief sentence on there, and let you tell the story, right? Because what happens is if I start reading the slides, like if I'm reading the slides, I don't hear anything you're saying, right? Because I'm reading the slide. So, and you don't want people to do that. So you'll get in presentations, a lot of companies do what they call a state of the business meeting every month, and they'll go through these presentations. And I always hated those because when accounting got up, they made their slides so busy you